Saqib, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
It's always nice to talk to somebody who's out of the mainstream. When I say mainstream, out of the technology.
Right, right.
So you leverage technology to pursue your passion, which is movie making. You're based out of San Francisco, but you make movies on Pakistan, India, and you also made one on San Francisco.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And most of your movies go to film festivals. So let's talk a bit about your passion. How easy or how difficult it is when you pursue passion like filmmaking without the mainstream actors to take stories of cities and countries and geographies and cultures to other parts of the world.
I won't say it's difficult, but it's persistent. You have to be very persistent. Things don't come naturally. You have to work hard at it. Monetization, getting the funding to do this is hard. I've been very lucky. I've met some great advisors, producers, especially at places like SV as well. Open SV, I've met people. So that's one aspect of it. Now, at the same time, my movies are not multi-million-dollar productions, so I don't work for Tom Cruise, for example. But I've worked with great actors. Akbar Kurta was in Syriana. He played in 24. He was in My Son the Fanatic with Om Puri, Anil Kapoor, and George Clooney. So he's an actor. He's a professional actor. Worked with him. It was great. In Pakistan, I worked with a lot of actresses and actors. There's an old actor called Munawar Saeed Saab. I worked with him. Young actresses like Angeline Malik, Aisha Tur. It's brilliant and it's great as a director. The thing is, in what I tell people, and I do a lot of, I go to colleges to tell students how to make movies. I was in Islamabad, Nast University recently. And what I tell them is, to tell stories, you gotta have stories. You gotta travel, you gotta see the world, you gotta go places where don't stick to your little clientele, don't stick to your relatives, you have to explore. So I think that's how it happens, and I've been lucky with that.
How do you decide to make a movie on San Francisco when there are so many other mainstream movie makers? And how was that experience?
So my movie in San Francisco was a friend of mine based in Houston, Mohsin Bhai. He wrote a script. He wrote a book, and I looked at the book, and we're like, it sounds like it's a movie. So we adapted it to a script. And the movie is basically about, it's an American movie, all American actors. And basically the movie is about an older guy, around 55. He used to have a startup, and his partner kind of cheated him out of fair. He got messed up with the SEC, and now he's a homeless person. He has a daughter, and he's trying to get himself killed so he can give her the insurance money. So it's kind of a weird movie about San Francisco, Mission area, Silicon Valley. All these things come together, and what a father would do to benefit his daughter, even if it comes to, getting rid of his life. So that's the way the movie was, and we looked at actors, and we had a blast doing it. It was a lot of fun, even though it's a very dark, subject.
So when you talk about RT movies, if you look at India, going back 2-3 decades, the likes of Shubhanaz, Nasruddin.
Yeah, exactly.
They were very addressing a very niche audience.
Right.
But lately, in the last 5-6 years, the RT and the mainstream has blended really well.
Yes. Okay. In a lot of cases, yeah.
And they're doing really well. It's new directors, new writers have come up with new actors. So there's a new hope. And the choices of the audience has changed as well. When you go across the border, because there is not an evolved and developed film industry, I'm sure the challenges are a lot more. So you have to find greener pastures outside of Pakistan.
Yes, absolutely.
So I wanted your
India has been very supportive in my journey. Every movie I've made has been picked up by their festivals. And not just in India, in London, in San Francisco, Toronto, they love whatever I do. And it's because a lot of Pakistani movies have picked up, they're making great movies. We have especially amazing female directors. I know Mehreen personally, Sharmeen, Ubaid Chinoy, all these, and a friend of mine, Mahin Zaid, they're just incredible crop of directors. My generation, at my age, it wasn't like that. We grew up on PTV, watching, Sona Chandi and Alif Noon and stuff. Even though I have very little remembrance of stories like Ankahi and stuff. So we had always great TV. Our film was dead for a long time. It's coming up slowly. India is a whole different world. They are way ahead of us in everything, and film especially so.
But you have an opportunity being here, living
yeah.
in Silicon Valley. You have a lot more exposure to resources.
Right.
How do you go about picking your stories and your subjects?
I think travel helps. and usually I write my own. So it depends on what inspires me. I mean, I'm working on a project right now which involves some supernatural horror aspects, also based in San Francisco. It requires involved like an Iraq war veteran and things like that on what he's going through with relapse of trauma that he suffered during the war. So it's a story, and then you just play with it. You take it as far as you can, and when you get the funding, you're good to go.
How much do film festivals add to a movie?
A lot. If you have a crop of film festivals, you go to a producer, you say, oh, my movies are played up here and this is what I have. Most producers who will support you do it because they believe in your story. They know it's not a money-making venture. Most of the time, they will break even. So obviously I'm not Joel Schumacher, I'm not some great director that will make them 200 million. So it's usually a labor. They understand it's about the passion. It's about getting their name out there and a story they believe in.
So, looking at the kind of movies that you make, is there truly a monetization model behind it for a producer or investor to come forward?
There is a monetization model, especially in the documentary side, I think, because there are a lot of real stories from Pakistan, and the US media really loves personal storytelling out of a country like Pakistan, because then they think it's authentic. Fiction from Pakistan in movie will not find a huge market here, especially if you want to do it in our own language. In India it might, so India is probably a better bet for us.
When you see the current breed of movie makers and enthusiasts who are in schools now, not everybody will get into mainstream.
Right.
So to make this your living, what would you advise them?
Travel and be humble to your crew, because you'll work with them again, and travel so you can grab unique experiences and stories. That's your uniqueness is what will make the movie.
All right.
Right? So
thank you, and wishing you very best for the next one.
Thank you, Mateen.